Well, hey y'all, how are y'all doing this evening? Welcome to our channel. I'm Eve with the baby's booty, and tonight is all about the bling. We are bringing the bling tonight. So I want to welcome you all into my fabulous sparkly lifestyle. I started to wear my crown, but then I was like, you know what? That's doing the most. We're not gonna do the most tonight. I'm not doing the most tonight. So what we are going to do is just delve into rhinestones and the bling. You guys asked for it. We're even going to step up the game a little bit because what I've been doing in the past is showcasing hot fix rhinestones, which hot fix rhinestones are pretty much like my shirt. And if I stand up, I'll show you. These are hot fix rhinestones, meaning these stones are pressed on with a heat press. Well, there's more than one way to bling things out here, y'all. So we're going to cover a little bit about hot fix rhinestones, a little bit about regular flatback rhinestones, and a really cool tool that Be Createful has come out with to help you guys in blinging shirts, all right, to make things a little bit easier for you. So one of the things I want to bring out first and foremost is welcome here to the Hoop Group. Thebabiesbooty.com. If you go there, you can join the Hoop group. It is a forum. It's free of charge. You can post pictures. You can ask questions. You can comment and gripe about a customer. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's polite and no craziness. You can post and get some encouragement there on our group. And there's a link at the top of the website where it says join. That's where you click and you sign up and you can become a member of that hoop group. Or also you can go to Facebook, either one or both. Facebook also, we have a Facebook group, the hoop group there as well. So you're welcome to join there. Here on YouTube, we also have memberships here on YouTube. You can join and it's a monthly recurring subscription. Which is really cool. It helps the channel and we definitely appreciate it. That's what helps us get all these really cool goodies to be able to show you guys. A lot of times folks tend to think that just because we're here on YouTube and we got people looking that we get everything for free. No, we don't. We have to pay for stuff too. So the funds that you guys give to the channel, we definitely turn around and use it and purchase really neat things to show you how to do some really cool stuff here on the channel. So we definitely appreciate it. There's a link in the description where you can join the membership there. So my main thing when we start our lives is I like to reach out and say hi to the folks who are joining us live, took the time out of their busy schedules to be here with us, and I really appreciate it. You didn't have to do that and you're here with us. So I want to say hello, and that's going to take about 10 minutes or so. So if you want to skip ahead or go get a drink or snack or something and don't care if I say hi to you or not or whatever, you can come back in about 10 minutes and then we'll be ready to go. But these folks is here and they saying hey, and I want to say hey back. So Crafty is here. Hello, my dear. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. She's a captain as well. I appreciate it. Tanya York, hello. How are you? Welcome. Miss Afro Colombian is in the house. Hey, sweetheart. How are you? Welcome. We bossing up tonight. Andrea Ross from Maryland. Hello. How are you? Welcome. Thank you for joining us and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group captain as well. You gotta be kidding. Elle Reeves and Teresa Jackson. How are you guys? Welcome. Thank you very much. And thank you for being here and for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And we got us a new member, y'all. You know what that means. Yamake Couture is here and she, not sure which one, and I don't want to be rude, but either way, you are a new member to the channel. Now, I forgot to mention something earlier. Oh my gosh. So, one of the perks of joining as a member here on this channel is, do you get, no, all right, sorry. So one of the other things we do here is we ring the bells to celebrate the accomplishments, whether it's getting a new baby, whether it's getting a new member, right? New member. So any of your equipment that you purchase, or even someone said a software program, which is fine with me too, because that software ain't cheap. They got the digitizing the Wilcom hatch and she wanted me to ring the bell for her. So hopefully you'll mention that here in the chat. But we ring the bell to celebrate. So if you are a member, you get to get your bell and ring it with us. So Yamake, I want to say thank you so very much for joining our YouTube channel and get a bell ring for you. Let me back up. Yes, thank you. Welcome. Thank you for joining the Hoop Group here on YouTube. That is totally, totally awesome sauce. We also want to say hi to Miss 43. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Ethel Smith, Miss Ethel Smith from Georgia. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group captain as well. We have another member joining us this evening. Let's see. It just popped up. Karen Collymore, welcome. Thank you for joining us. And thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. Yes, welcome. Thank you for joining us. That's what's up. So everybody who has their bell, ring your bells and celebrate with us. That's awesome sauce. Thank you. We definitely appreciate you joining the Hoop Group here on YouTube. Definitely. We have Leela Nelson. Welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member and captain. Hello, Miss Bickham. Welcome, and thank you as well for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. As always. Mary Brown from Memphis. Marianne, welcome. Thank you both for being here with us this evening. Lonnie, welcome. How are you? Karen Murray from Canada, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member as well. Embroidery Diva, Pamela Banks, good evening. Yes, we are well and safe here at our house. Miss Ethel Smith says she got her Conde box. Holler! That Conde box is full of goodies. Have you sublimated anything out of it yet? I was going to sublimate tonight, but then I was like, oh man, I told these folks we was going to bling. So I had to back it up a little bit, reel it in, and we'll have to sublimate the next time. Hi, Miss Sheila Cushionberry. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. And Colette Martin, welcome. Nora 22,000, welcome from Cali. Pearl Lucas, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Appreciate you being here. I am Miss Afro Colombian. Definitely am for sure, and need to talk to you about that, I'm sure, but we'll get together. Miss Shirley Stewart, good evening to you as well, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group captain. Let's see, we have Kathleen Shannon. Good evening to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Latasha Jackson, hey dear, welcome. Thank you for being a YouTube captain as well. I appreciate it. Let's see, we also have Sharisa Holmes, Beverly Smith, and Nick Nurse. Hello to the three of you. Welcome. Thank you for being YouTube Hoop Group members. Actually, thank you for being here. Sorry about that. Fooch Spin. Hello. Sorry, that threw me off. Hey, Fooch Spin. How are you? Welcome. I haven't seen you here before, so welcome. Thank you for joining us. Ray Williams from Mobile. Welcome. Sorry. Alabama, welcome. I can hear my husband back there cringing now. Sorry, y'all. It's been a long day. I don't know if you can hear, like, I'm starting to get hoarse because for the past, let's see, I've been out here working. It's 9 o'clock. I think I started at like 2 or something like that. And I crank up the tunes, and I have a playlist on Amazon that's all songs that I sing, that I know and that I love and have loved for years. And so I'm going hoarse because I've been singing at the top of my lungs all evening. So if I lose my voice tonight, that's why. But I love to enjoy my music while I work. It helps me stay focused. Let's see. Hello, Laverne Miller. Welcome. And I'm glad you enjoy them. Not very many people do. Thank you, Miss 143. This is really cool design. I absolutely love it. Miss Pressure, welcome. Joanna Holmes, welcome. And Miss Dorothy Gaston from STL, welcome. Thank you for joining us this evening. Miss Mia Dixon is here. Welcome to you as well. Hey, Miss Debbie D, how are you? Welcome, and thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group captain. I appreciate that. Yamake says she's not new. You was already a member, but forgot to change it. Oh, well, that works. Even still, you get a bell because you joined back up. You could have just left it hanging. So I'm going to ring the bell anyway. So thank you. Willa Allen says, good evening, everyone. You got a sublimation printer and a Conde box. I can't wait to get started. Well, you know what that means. You got two goodies. You got your box and your printer, but that printer is awesome. What printer did you get? Let us know. I would love to find out. But meanwhile, thank you for letting us know, and congratulations on your new printer. Yes! Congratulations, man. You're going to be doing sublimation up one wall and down the other. And a lot of my blanks that I ordered came in, so I'm really excited about that. I got some signs. I got some change purses. I also got, what else did I get? Oh, the little necklace pendant thingies. I got some of those, so I'm really excited about my sublimation orders that I put in. Lisa Thompson, she said she bought the hatch on sale because of Eve's word. I'm working on cutting rhinestone flock tonight, though. Yeah, the rhinestone flock don't have anything to do with the Wilcon hatch, but we do want to ring the bell for hatch because hatch ain't cheap, even on sale. It's not cheap, so we're gonna ring the bell for your hatch. Congratulations, Lisa Thompson. That's cool. Congratulations on that, because Wilcon Hatch is a beast of a digitizing program, so I'm sure you will enjoy it once you get into it. Willa Allen says she got the sawgrass. Holler! Yes. Well, congratulations, and please keep us updated on your sublimation projects. We would love to see them. Pooch says my nickname, it's really Philomena, new grandma and needing to learn to make things for your granddaughter. You're welcome. So thank you for joining us. Hopefully we can get some really cool things going for you so that you can see a lot of the fun stuff we're going to work with tonight. I'm really excited about tonight, though. Lyness Jackson, what hoop master did you get for your red line, since it isn't listed on their site? I actually have the whole hoop master, the original one. I can show it to you. It'll take me a moment to grab it, though. But the hoop master is, you know, just the base, the big base, and then you can get adapters for it to make it larger if you need to. And then of course they have the small adapters to go on it. But this is just the stand. As you can see, it's well worn and loved. I use it all the time. And then these two adapters here are the ones that allow me to use the bigger hoops with this board. So I absolutely love that. So these adapters are for the large hoops. And then of course I have the 5x5 hoop attachment that sits on here to help me do the right and left chest logos easily. So I do have that part as well. And I have the additional small extra attachment that does the sleeves, not sleeves, like onesies, the small part. I have that adapter as well. So, and several hoops to go along with it, a set of 5x5 hoops, and gosh, some sleeve hoops and all kind of hoops. I got so many mighty hoops. I absolutely love mighty hoops. Mighty hoops are awesome. Hello Melissa, how are you, dear? Thank you for joining us this evening with your grandma. Make sure you're behaving, and I hope you enjoy the show with her. Lonnie, hello, how are you? Congratulations, she says to everybody, and I'm sure they appreciate it. Oh my gosh, she said Shirley Stewart says the Baby Lock Celebrate Surgery was delivered today. Well, congratulations. Congratulations, Shirley, on your surgery. Yes. It's funny to me how you can purchase something, a piece of equipment or whatever, and everybody else around you is like, okay, well, what's the big deal? But we know what we're getting, and we know the cool stuff we do with our toys. So that's what's up. Lil Nelson got her Epson Echo Tank in this week and set up for sublimation. Yes! I'm loving the sublimation vibes. That Epson Echo Tank is a nice printer, and Lord knows you're going to be doing a lot with the sublimation on that, I'm sure. So congratulations to you as well. Lynette says, I bought the hatch also. Man, it's a major difference. Yes, it is a big difference. with digitizing. So tonight I want to, we may end up moving the camera over to the cutting table so that you can see the bling, because I did kind of want to go into the process of blinging a shirt versus doing your basic bling. But a lot of it is going to depend on how much time we have left. I hear the term floating a project. I like to know, what does that mean? I know I need to watch a video. Happy Sunday night. Thank you, Marissa. Floating a project, usually when you do embroidery, we hoop our projects. I'm trying to think if I have a hoop handy to show you. I actually don't. But when you hoop your project, say for instance you're going to embroider a towel, you'll take the bottom part of the hoop, lay it on your table or board, and then you'll put your stabilizer up under it, and then you put your towel on top of that, and then you put the top part of the hoop and you push it together to make it nice and snug so that you can embroider nice and flat on the surface of that towel. Well, that's regular hooping. But in an instance of when you're floating, it's when you take the bottom part of the hoop and then you put the stabilizer on top of the bottom part. Then you take the top part of the hoop and you join the stabilizer, sandwich the stabilizer in the hoop, and that's the only thing that you hoop. And you make sure that's nice and snug, and then you put it on the machine. Then after that, you can put your towel on the top of the hoop, all of it together without sandwiching it down. Some people float with pins, which isn't necessarily advisable, because you could hit the pin with your needle if you're not careful and don't pin it out of the way properly. Some people hoop with spray adhesive, not hoop, but float with spray adhesive to hold the towel or the whatever you're embroidering in place. And some people just let it float. Like myself, I hold it in place. So that's the difference between floating and hooping. But it's, I don't want to say it's tricky. Once you get the hang of it, a lot of people, that's the only way they embroider. But I found that I prefer to hoop myself, and it helps to have magnetic hoops, which is what we were talking about with the mighty hoops. But magnetic kind of depends on what equipment you have, because if you have the single needle machine at home, you're kind of limited in magnetic hoops. The multi-needle machines have several magnetic hoop options available to you, but though that's what floating is. Nice Soulful Creations, welcome. Thank you for joining us and happy to have you here. Thank you. The Sewing Brat, welcome. Welcome back. I appreciate you joining us again. Kingsbury Crafts and Lisa Donnelly, welcome. Thank you for joining us at our show this evening. And Pat Ash, thank you for being a YouTube Hoop Group member. And yes, the magnetic hoops are amazing. It really makes short work of hooping, whereas normally it's a major pain in the rear sometimes, depending upon what project you're working on, because some projects are actually difficult to hoop, like bulky blankets, for instance. Towels can be bulky as well. Certain outfits like denim jackets sometimes can be a little difficult to hoop. So in those instances, the magnetic hoops really make a major difference in what you are able to accomplish. So going into our rhinestones this evening, if you are a blinger and you like to bling, or if you're interested in becoming a blinger, please put it in the comment below, the comment box, and say, yes, I want to bling, or bling is my thing. You can put that as well, because rhinestones are a lot of fun. I actually thoroughly enjoy doing bling. The problem is, usually when you're doing bling, people tend to want to bling things for themselves and you wind up with a lot of templates and stuff that you use one time. But if you want to get into blinging for a profit, it can be done and easily so. Yes, they do have magnetic hoops available for the PE770 or the 5x7 embroidery machine. You can go on to Amazon actually.com and type in repositional hoop and it should pull it up. Or I think the link to my Amazon is in the description, and I do have a set for the 5x7 machine in the store. So you can go there as well. Gail Whitaker says, sticky stabilizer is great for floating. Using a basting box will further keep the project from shifting, especially with applique. And yes, that would be correct. Sticky stabilizer is generally what a lot of people use for floating, but it's not appropriate for all instances, such as towels. I wouldn't use sticky stabilizer for towels because what tends to happen is that sticky residue will continue to be on the back of that towel, and it's hard to pick off of the back of the towel after the embroidery is done. So in that instance, I wouldn't use sticky, but there are applications for sticky that is actually appropriate. And the basting box is, you know, to a certain degree, the basting box is the best option out there when it comes to floating, because it will tack everything, tack the whole section down that you're going to embroider, and you don't have to worry about it shifting. You don't have to worry about the glue gumming up your needles. You don't have to worry about pins hitting the needle. You don't have to worry about the project shifting because you didn't do anything at all to hold it in place. So it's actually the coolest and usually the best option to keep everything from shifting. So thank you, Gail, for that tip. That's totally awesome. Sewing Brett says, yes, I'm a blinger. You're waiting on your bling to come in. Nice Soulful Creation says, Joanna says, interested in learning to bling. Looking forward to learning bling techniques. Yas, yas, yas. Laverne hasn't tried it yet. Well, let's get you hooked today. So one of the first things I want to bring out about rhinestones that a lot of people don't realize is there's two different types of rhinestones for application purposes. All right, so you have rhinestones with glue on the back, a heat activated glue, and those are usually used for shirts, for hats, for socks, for any type of fabric, clothing, things along that line that you can actually lay on the heat press and press to your item. But then you also have what are called flat back rhinestones, and the flat back rhinestones don't have any glue on the back of them. It's just a silver backing in most instances. And that you will need to use some glue in order to apply it to the surface that you want to bling. So what would you bling with those? You can bling anything, Father, anything. You know, I could trick out my bell if I wanted to and add bling to it, but some of the latest and hottest items that folks are blinging would be like the stethoscope, tops of the stethoscopes, tumblers, which we have tonight that we're going to work with a little bit. And then you have different shapes and sizes of tumblers, baby shoes, Converse shoes for weddings. Because you wouldn't use, like, even though the shoes are fabric, that's not an appropriate application for heat applied rhinestones. Now, when you do the heat applied rhinestones, which hopefully we'll be able to, I'll show you how that works hopefully here shortly, but the heat applied rhinestones, generally, once you apply it to the shirt, you can wash it and dry it for the most part like normal, as long as it's applied properly with the proper temperature. I usually apply mine at 350 degrees for about 10 to 12 seconds, mostly 12. And I haven't had any issues out of my shirts being washed and dried. And then since my honey does the laundry, he doesn't necessarily separate the heat, the bling stuff from everything else. So it goes in the hot dryer with everything else. And I have yet to lose a stone off of my clothing that I've blinged. So you do have bling for shirts and hats and stuff. And as I mentioned, if it's applied properly, you don't have to worry about it coming off. Now with the glue, the flat back stones, you should prep your surface prior to actually applying the stones, and then you really need to have a really good glue. A lot of people tend to use E6000, which I don't encourage E6000 because the fumes and the glue itself is toxic. So I'll show you one of the glues that I use to bling with. And before we go too much further, I want to go ahead and mention that any of the bling stuff that I show you tonight is in the chat description box under Be Createful. I have a link in the description box below. If you've never purchased bling from them before, you can use that link and you'll get 10% off of your order as a referral from the baby's booty, which is really cool. So to get us into the bling, let's go ahead. Hello, Monica Torres. I'm glad you are feeling better, and I'm glad you are back with us because we do miss our members. You use Sue Sparkles, never lost a stone. That is awesome sauce. Temperature, again, for hot fix, I generally do 350 for my bling. Pearl Lucas, yes, I want to bling. Been watching the videos on bling, but still nervous about doing it. Don't be nervous. The cool thing about blinging with hot fix especially is, I mean, there really isn't too much in a way that you can, I mean, you can mess up some stuff, which I'll show you here shortly, if we get time to, on how to do a template for bling and then pick it up to put it on a shirt, because it's a process to it. But yes, you can kind of cause some problems for yourself if you're not careful. But first and foremost, I want to show you, here is a bag of hot fix rhinestones, and I want to say this is about 500 gross. So whenever you purchase rhinestones, you're going to generally purchase them in increments of gross, and that's with the hot fix stones, and that's also with the flat back stones. They both come in gross, and gross is a term of measurement. It's an actual measurement. One gross is 144. Okay, so if you purchase one gross of stones, you'll get 144 stones, right? So, and I'm telling you this because if you purchase from other vendors other than Be Createful, like on Amazon, I've seen a couple of instances where they'll say gross, but they're saying one gross, not 10. And so you get these little weedy bit of stones back and you're really sad. But you want to look for 10 gross, and most reputable stone dealers usually deal in 10 gross, because 10 times 144 is 1,440 stones. All right, so you can purchase in increments of 1,440 stones in most instances at most bling dealers. All right, so I'm going to show you what 10 gross looks like with stones, and I'm trying to find one that is okay. So here is a stone, and eventually I'm going to get these out of these pouches so that you can see how extremely gorgeous these stones are. They're just, her stones are absolutely beautiful. But at any rate, this is 10 gross, okay? So this little pouch is 10 gross stones. So this is 1,000, minimum 1,440 stones. And most of the bling vendors, they weigh out the stones instead of just sitting there counting them one by one by one. So it's based on a specific weight. So a lot of times you'll wind up with a couple more stones than the 10 gross. So, but this is 10 gross stones, and as I mentioned, this is more like 500 gross, I think. I'm pretty sure this is 500 gross. But it's a lot of stones, and why would somebody want to get that many stones? Well, because if you do a lot of orders and you fill a lot of orders, like for instance, this is orange, so in areas where Clemson University or any other team that uses orange, Denver Broncos, I think, uses orange and blue or something like that, you would go through this amount of stones. So you would purchase this, you know, a larger quantity to help you out. But in most instances, when you purchase a rhinestone design, now we're not talking about the flat back stones. Now we're talking about hot fix. When you purchase a design like this one on my shirt, when you go to the designer's website where they have all of their designs that you can pick and choose from, so in order to cut your template. Now this is if you're deciding to do this yourself, or some of the designers will sell you templates too. Just depends. You can get a template that you cut yourself, or you can ask them to send you a template at an additional charge. But either way, their designs will each tell you how many stones total that specific design you're looking at will take. So you'll see it'll have, you know, the picture of, like, if it's different colors, you'll have the red stones, it'll be 680 stones. Blue stones is 1,000 stones. You see what I'm saying? So it'll break it down for you. And hopefully you'll see that actually in my rhinestone videos, because I have several. And I have a playlist on my website, thebabiesbooty.com, where you can go there, click on videos, and there's a playlist for rhinestone videos. And all of the ones that I've done are there. So these are hot fix, and as you might can see, you see orange and gray in this bag. Orange and gray dots. Well, the gray is the back side of these stones, and it's the glue side of the stones. Okay, this is hot fix. But looking at the back of our flat back stones, it's silver, because the silver plating on the stone is what helps bring out the luster of the stone. So it needs that silver on the back in order to bring out the color of the stone on the front. Okay, and I'll show you what the difference is here in a moment, but these are flat back stones. All right, so Marianne, thank you very much for that question. That's an excellent question. And M. Rowe, I'm going to get back to you here in a moment. But Korean hot fix stones. So I mentioned there are two types of stones as far as application is concerned. There's hot fix, and then there's flat back. Hot fix is just like the name says, hot fix. You need hot and heat to apply it. And then flat back is just flat. There's nothing on the back of it. You have to put something on the back of it, and that would be glue. Well, stones also come in different lusters. All right, stones come in different lusters, and about the best way I can explain that is just like a diamond. Most of the lovely ladies in here are very familiar with diamonds, and we have diamonds that come in different carats, which are sizes. And likewise with our stones come in different sizes too. So like these stones and these are what are called SS10 size stones. That is one of the most common size stones that you will use with hot fix designs. Most of the hot fix designs use a lot of SS10. So this is SS10, but then here we have an SS16, which is a little bit bigger. So our stones do come in other sizes. And had I thought ahead, I would have brought the, I have a card that shows all the different size stones, and I don't have it right here in front of me, and actually don't even know where it is. I don't even know where it is right now. But so our stones come in different sizes. So with flat back stones, the ones that don't have glue on them, you don't really have to be so restrictive with sizes. It's all based on what you want to do. And what I found is most people prefer the larger stones so that they can fill more space, because with flat back stones, you are gluing and applying each stone by hand. So most people want to cover as much space and get done as fast as they can, and they do that by getting larger size stones. I prefer the look of the smaller stones and on the smaller side. So for me, about the biggest I'll go is SS16. I'm saying that now, but of course, once I start blinging on this cup, that tune might change, okay? But for right now, SS10 and SS16. Now, in addition to size, it's the luster, as I alluded to earlier. So you have Jackie Creeks. I didn't think about doing a class with Make the Cut, but I definitely can, especially now that I can get it to you for free. You don't have to pay for it now. But the rhinestones also come in different lusters, different shimmers, so to speak. So just like diamonds have different grades, our stones have different levels of luster. With rhinestones, you have hotfix Korean. Hotfix Korean, which hotfix Korean is like the bottom basement, bare basement, bare minimum of shine on the stones. And that is, let me see something, because I have bling in this box and that may have what I need. Whoops. Okay, so you have hotfix Korean, then you have DMC. Hotfix Korean is your basic stone. So here is a pack of hotfix Korean. Okay, now if you are sitting here looking at it, you'll probably be like, you know, I really can't tell the difference, because it does still shine. It does still pick up the light. It does still bling. It does. Then you have what's called DMC, which is double machine cut. And what double machine cut basically means is, with a regular hotfix Korean stone, it has, and I'm guessing, unfortunately, but I want to say it's something like 6 or 7 facets. So just like a diamond has the facets on the front, which are the flat, each of the flat surfaces on the diamond, this one has 6 to 7 facets on the top of it. Maybe 6 to 8, something like that. Not a lot of facets, but it's enough to pick up the light, right, and reflect the light from different angles. That's what the facets are for. Well, DMC, double machine cut, there's a few more facets on this, and double machine cut is just the method that they use to actually shape the stone. And because they use a machine to shape the facets on the stone, they can add more facets than they're putting on with the regular Korean hotfix. So this one blings just a little bit more because it catches more light. You have more facets. Think of a disco ball, you know, up in the ceiling, and imagine a disco ball with 8 mirrors on it, and it's spinning with the light, and it's trying to reflect, you know, with 8 mirrors, versus your regular disco ball with like hundreds of little teeny mirrors. It's going to reflect and reflect and refract way more light and sparkles with that disco ball with so many more little mirrors on it than that one with 6 or 8. It's just not going to be quite as impressive. So that's the difference when you're talking about adding facets to a stone. Well, this is Korean, which is usually the most economical stone that they have out there. Matter of fact, last time I checked, and I'm going to look again just to be 100% sure, but the not on sale, let's see, Korean is $4.20 per 10 gross. So this is just in comparison, this is the disco ball with 8 mirrors on it. So you get $4.20 for a 10 gross pack of stones. Whereas with the DMC, the double machine cut, it's a little bit more, not by too much. This one is more like $4.94 per pack. So only some cents more. It's not really tragic for a little bit more bling. So this is the disco ball with like 12 mirrors on it. Okay. Well, you guys, I'm sure, are familiar with Swarovski, and hopefully I'm saying it right, not butchering the name of it. But Swarovski crystals is the elite, the Rolls Royce of stones, right? And that's because Swarovski has insane amounts of facets on their stones. So this is like that real disco ball with all of the facets on it. Okay, so it is made, the glass is super clear. It has several many facets on it, which allows it to reflect just beautiful light. Swarovski is top notch. Okay, well, in order to sell Swarovski crystals, you have to have a authorized license. You have to be a distributor of them, and it's not an easy task to be able to sell these. You have to be able to get into some. It's not an easy thing. But of course, just like there are knockoffs of everything else out there, there are imitation Swarovski. Okay, and that being the case on Be Createful, her website, they're called Lux. So they have Lux hot fixed rhinestones where the bling on them is insane. This specific stone, this flat back, is a Lux stone, and you may not be able to too much tell the difference between hot fixed Korean and DMC. Not too terribly much. You can tell slightly once you start using it on a regular basis. But when you use Lux, you'll be able to tell the difference. You're like, I'm not using anything else. It is a lot more expensive, but your customer will be wowed by the insane shine and shimmer that comes from Lux stones. Okay, so the Lux stones, you remember the Korean and the DMC is like right at $5. Korean is a little bit less. Well, the Lux stones are $9.89 for the 10 grows pack. Okay, why? Because the stone is top notch. It's definitely, you can tell the difference between Lux and regular stones. Okay, so you do have differences, and of course, which choice you want to make is entirely up to you and your budget. Because keep in mind, the exact same shirt that you would sell, like for instance, I don't remember exactly how many stones is in this, but for the sake of argument, we'll say this shirt is $20 with hot fixed Korean. If you didn't even use 10 gross with this shirt. You bought the shirt was $3. You bought the stones, you got 10 gross of the stones, which was, what did we say, $4? So we'll go DMC. That's $5. So that's $8 already invested. And that doesn't include shipping to your customer. That doesn't include tax. That doesn't include any fees that PayPal may take out of your proceeds and stuff like that. But a $20 shirt, you still gonna make a little bit of a profit. Not a whole lot, but you'll still make some. So imagine paying $10 for the 10 gross stones. So now you have $10 plus your $3 shirt. That's $13 already, and that's not including your fees and stuff. So if you're charging $25 for that shirt, you're really $20. You're really not going to make money. So you do have to mark up your cost when it comes to switching between the different types of stones. But what I had a tendency to do is I had a shirt with design, the exact same design on one shirt, the exact same design on the second shirt, both of them black shirts. I did one in hot fix Korean and one in Lux stones, and I would show them to the customer and say, which one looks better to you? Which one do you want? And they always would point to the blingier shirt, and I'm like, okay, well, I mean, the price on that one is a bit more, and then that helped explain the cost and why, instead of balking at the price, that's the reason for the price. So Again, let's recap. You have hot fix stones, which are applied with heat. And then you have flatback stones, which are applied with glue. They're flat, there's nothing on them. Hot fix, they have glue on the back. So if you go and you want to purchase stones, make sure you're purchasing the right type so you don't get disappointed when the stones get to you and they have glue on them and you're trying to apply them to a cup. Can you use hot fix stones to glue onto a cup without heat by just adding the glue? I'm going to tell you no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because this glue that's on the back of these stones is just a little disc of glue that's on the back. And I've seen glue come off of the back of a stone. So if you use regular glue and try to bond that with this glue and the stone, it's not going to work. You need to bond the actual stone to your project. So I'm going to say yes, you can use glue to glue a hot fix stone to a hard surface, but you will be disappointed later. It's not going to stay. Okay, it is not going to remain on your item. So use hot fix when you're trying to glue to a hard surface, right? And then of course, just like with hot fix and flatback stones, they come in so many beautiful colors. Oh my gosh, y'all, beautiful, beautiful colors. They come in many different sizes. You have SS6, which is extremely teeny, and I wish I do have SS6. I'm going to show you the difference between SS6 and SS10 and SS, what did I say, 16? Yes, SS16. So they come in different sizes. They come in different shimmers, different types. So you have Korean, which is the least, DMC, which is kind of middle ground, and then Luxe, which is way up there. Big difference in stones. All right, so I'm going to show you as best as I can oh, that works. I'm going to show you on this mask. Let me get to a flatter spot. Okay. So here is an SS6 stone. Let me get to where I can show you. Here's an SS6 stone. All right, let me get a SS10 out. And if you have any questions, like as far as my containers, like here is one container I use for my stones. Here's another type. I get all of my containers from Hobby Lobby in their glass section, and I wait till they're on sale and go get glass jars. So I love glass containers to show the shimmer of the stones through the container. So that's where I get mine from. And get scissors and show you the SS16s. And I even have SS20, but it's in the other room. Who's gonna do that? That was gonna jump and run away. Run away! Hot fix stones come in sheets. Flatback stones come in sheets as well. All right, this one is gonna be a little bit harder to see, so let me grab one of these because that's a dark blue, and I want to make sure you can see it. And think of that when I open that pack. Okay, now here is SS6, SS10, and SS16. Okay, let me tilt it. Give me a sec. I want to make sure it doesn't fall either because these haven't been like applied or anything. But to help you see the difference in size. So that little teeny stone is SS6. The middle one is SS10 and the larger one is SS16. Yes, Kimberly Joyner, if you purchase the hot fix stones, they will adhere to shirts. If you purchase the flat back stones like these that don't have glue on the back, then it will not adhere to shirts. You want to use the flat back stones for hard surfaces and for surfaces that you wouldn't be able to put on a heat press, like tennis shoes, for instance, or baby shoes. Ribbons, like hair ribbons that you can lay flat before tying the ribbon, you would use hot fix. Hey Sonya, I'm fine. How are you? The Mrs. But yes, the on Be Createful, you will see that she sells sheets. So I have some hot fix sheets. Actually, these are not hot fix sheets. These are. So here is a sheet of hot fix, and these are Lux stones. These are hot fix. Okay. These are hot fix. This is a mesh strip of hot fix. So if I wanted to, you know, just do a stripe or something on shirt, that's what this would be for. And then instead of flat back, I said they have flat back, but what I should have said was they have adhesive stones. So these are adhesive glass rhinestone sheets. And let me pull this off the front, pull that down so that you can see. So these are like a sticker. I can cut it apart and apply it to surfaces. So a couple of months ago, I was showing you guys me doing my Adidas sandals. And I used these adhesive strips to do my Adidas sandals. Can I use these adhesive strips on my cup? Yes, I can. You can use their strips on the cup, but it's cooler to do with the glue. So let me bend down here and show y'all my dusty shoes. Actually, let me not show you that one. That one is really dusty. I don't know what the heck I've been doing with my shoes, and I need to clean them. But someone had asked me back then when I put these strips on my shoes, you know, how long would they last? And I was like, well, I mean, I really can't answer that question because I haven't, this was my first time blinging some shoes. So here are my Adidas sandals that I did with those strips, those that I just showed you. So they do have adhesive strips that you can apply without having to use glue. You see what I'm saying? Without having to add your own glue to it. This is adhesive. Now, someone asked how long does it last? Well, I beat up my shoes, and so as you see, like on this one corner, it's starting to come up. But for the most part, the rest of it is fine. It's not peeling up too much. That's the one side, and that's the other side. And I was wearing them just about every day this summer, just about. So I've been in the rain in them, the whole nine, and they really need to be dusted off with something because they're dusty and they're even blingier than this. So yes, they do have sheets that you can use. Do you cut with a do you cut a pattern with a sheet? You can. Hot fix, yes, is washable. The glue that we will be using for the flat back is super tight is one. This one is for, I would say use this if you are more experienced with applying glue because this glue sets quickly. This is a quick set glue. There's also a glue called oh man, I just had the name on the tip of my tongue. I'll come back to the name of that because I know it. And do I have some in here? Let me see. I may have some in my this bling box. And if I do, I'll show you. It's a green tube. And I No, E6000 I do not recommend because it is toxic. E6000 is toxic and the smell is tragic. Oh my god. The smell is horrible. What is the name of that darn glue? Because it's actually my main go-to glue because it allows you time to play and get everything situated like it needs to be. Is it super tight? No, this is super tight. No, it's not Fusion Tech either. Gem Tech. Gem Tech is the name of it. It's called Gem Tech. So just like the name implies, it is made for gemstones and applying gemstones. Gem Tech. Yes, Jeanette. Thank you. So yes. Can you cut the adhesive strips on the Cricut or Silhouette? I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm going to say no is because it's so tacky. Oh my gosh. Once you pull that adhesive strip off the back, it is super, super, super tacky. Like your fingers, it's like, oh my gosh, are you kidding me? But it needs to be super tacky so that it can stick to like those shoes and not come off. So I would not use it on a Cricut. But they are really easy to cut with scissors. I mean, because everything is in a straight row and you can see the row as you go up and cut them. So it's not difficult. And worst case scenario, you can lay a ruler on top, even if you wanted to use like a X-Acto knife. Are the sheets easier to use on the shoes, baby shoes? No. I'm going to say no for baby shoes because you have a lot of contouring and different surfaces, whereas with that, it was just straight across stripes. I mean, you can't get no easier than that. But when you have to go and fill in details, I'm going to say no. And I did do a quick little video. I think I showed you guys me adding glue to my wugs. A couple of years ago, Walmart had UGG imitation boots, and so I called them my wugs. And I blinged the back of those boots, and I embroidered my initial on the front and added some bling stones, and that was all done by hand with the Gem Tech. And my stones are still on my boots, and I was wearing them boots because I was cute in my boots, so I was wearing them. So, but at any rate, you're welcome. So I'm going to actually take you guys over to Hotfix and show you that first. And the reason why is because this project is going to take some hours. When you are applying stones by hand, it takes time, and you have prep work that really should be done, and I'll go over that really quick. So this is my next project. I've been thinking about challenging those in the hoop group to bling a tumbler because it's not super, super difficult, but it's absolutely gorgeous when you're done. Oh my God, the tumblers. I'm gonna have to see if I can pull up some pictures of some of the tumblers that I am just like enamored looking at the designs and the things people are coming up with, and it's just amazing to me. But this is like one of the easiest surfaces, is a little Starbucks tumbler, or you can get the Dollar Tree version as well if you want to practice, but I would get something that would last, and the Dollar Tree tumblers tend to come apart. So that's why spending a little extra on the Starbucks tumbler, it lasts long. So I'm not going to make a template with this. Oh, he going to be in Boom tomorrow? Oh, man. I'm not going to make a template with this because, well, you know what, Jackie? I might do it after I get started because some people make, okay, you can cut a vinyl template like your name. What people are doing is they're cutting their name out in script or whatever, applying it to the surface of the cup, and then they are using that as a template to add stones. Like I can bling out this logo, just for instance, instead of my name, this is a permanent part of the cup. I can bling this. So I would get, for this, unfortunately, because these little sections are so small, I would get SS6, the little teeny itty bitty stones, and bling most of this, and then the larger areas, maybe the larger stones. But you can put clear, or silver rather, where her clothing and stuff is, and then green all around it. You can actually put the stones over the top of this with the glue and make your Starbucks mermaid bling her out, and then go back and bling the rest of the cup. If you're talking about this, I just got this from Starbucks. But I have normally been buying sublimation tumblers, or the tumblers from Walmart will work as well, from what I understand. And I do have one of those. I thought about blinging that one instead, but this is speaking to my soul, so that's why I wanted to bling this cup. All right. So let's get over to the bling table, and unfortunately I'm going to have to move the camera, and I'm hoping it's going to behave. Now, t-shirt template, I'm getting ready to show that. I will not really be able to see the chat. I'm going to try and take my phone with me so that I will have access to the chat. But my main concern is hoping that we don't lag, disconnect, or whatnot, because we're moving the camera. You know how my internet is not completely faithful. They're not loyal. So but let's bring you over to the bling table, and we are going to set you right here. My dogs are acting up. I apologize. Okay. I'll bring y'all up some, and then tilt you down some. So I got crap everywhere over here on my table. Forgive me, but for right now, here is my bling area for the moment. And let me turn my thing over here. Good night, Marge. Oh, not that one either. What's this? Okay. So, as best as I can show you, let me pull you guys up so that I can see the chat. Let me turn this down. All right, cool. So, as best as I can show you, this is a template that I thought was super cute. The size stones on my shirt that I have on Miss Leela is SS10. So as I mentioned, SS10 is like your standard go-to size in most instances with templates. And you will, whenever you purchase a template, it will tell you how many stones is on this template. So like this specific template that's on my shirt, it's SS10, and it is 1,433 stones, and I was considering charging $40 for this, putting this template on a shirt. Number one, because I use Lux stones, so the stones are more expensive, and number two, the amount of stones. So generally we would charge roughly 2.5 cents per stone to come up with your cost of what you would charge for blinging the template. Now, the 2.5 cents per stone in my instance was based on regular Korean hotfix, so you kind of need to mark it up a little bit. But here's one template, and this is entirely SS10. And I got that information when I purchased this design from My File Addiction. Now, whenever you go to purchase a design, make sure that you are getting something that, either if you don't know how to cut it out with your silhouette or your Cricut, then see if they sell the actual flock template already cut out. Some people do sell that. A lot of them only sell the template. You got to cut it out yourself. Okay, and I do have videos showing how to cut templates out with Cricut, but not silhouette yet. Now this is another one. You can buy templates. I usually refer people to myfileaddiction.com, myfileaddiction.com, and I'll try and put that in the description box so that you can refer back to it. She has beautiful designs. Love her designs, and she makes custom designs as well. So if you have a design that you want made, you can reach out to her and she'll take a design and make it for you. Like, for instance, I had a customer reach out to me. She wanted a shirt that said Thug Wife in old English design, and I just did this shirt for her. This is her shirt. She sent the shirt, and I just added the vinyl and then the bling for wife. She saw a shirt on Amazon that said Thug Wife, but it wasn't in white, number one, and number two, it didn't have bling on it. So she wanted it in bling and vinyl. So this was custom made for that customer. And yes, I do pass that charge on to the customer, because the reason being is, number one, it has to be, and it's more. The reason being is because, number one, it is, in most instances, I have to pay the designer to design this. So I pass that on to the customer. And then number two, I probably will never use this template ever again. So a one-time template, it's a waste of money if I don't charge the customer for it. So I do charge them to make templates for one-time custom designs. So yes, generally I do count the rhinestones and charge based on the amount of stones in the design. When you're saying create templates, Lonnie, are you talking about making your own design into bling, like straight, or are you talking about purchasing a design and making your template? Which one? And until I get her response, this is a 2-part template. As you see, this is going to be one color. It's as you see, Superman design, and it says Super Mom across the top. So this I will do in crystal, and this I would do in red. And I want to show you how that process works. So I don't know that we'll be able to get to doing the flat back, but I hope we do get to at least show you a little bit. So the process of blinging, all of this material, the flock that you see here, the stones, she also has pins to help you pick up your individual stones and lay them on here. I'm pretty sure she has brushes as well, scoops, and then you'll need the clear transfer paper to pick up the stones and put it on the shirt. And we'll show you all of that here in a moment. So I'm going to pour stones out on this template. And then I am going to just brush these stones in place. Light, like I'm not pressing super hard. I'm pressing very light and just doing a circle. And what that does is it helps these stones fall into place. And I'm going to see if I can't bring you just a smidge closer so that you can see this process. So all I'm doing is going in a circle over the top of these stones. Okay. And my heat press is already on back there clicking. So so that we can get a shirt pressed before we get off the air tonight. Okay, so they're falling into place flat side down. There's a science behind doing this process. The process is really cool because of the facets, the way the facets are on the top of the stone. As you brush a stone that's upside down over the top of a stone that's right side up, it automatically flips the stone because of the way the facets are on the actual stone itself. So it's really cool. You don't have to struggle to get stones to go in as long as the holes are cut to the right size. That's going to be the caveat. And yes, there's a method to that too. And that is in one of my videos in showing how to make sure that your stones are the right size before you cut it out, because you do need to know that. All right. So once I've brushed in the stones and I have them for the most part filled in. So I don't know how well you can see. There's still empty spaces here and there. That's fine. But for me, the first thing I need to do is I just take my hand and lightly rub, firm pressure, just laid flat on the surface, and I rub across it, because what happens is there's extra stones that are laying in betwixt and in between and not in a hole, and there's no hole available near it. So by me just taking my time and rubbing my hand across, that helps me, you know, find those loose stones that are not in a hole like they're supposed to be. And then what I do is I'll come back. For me, it's easier to just pick up the stones by hand and put them in the holes, but she does have a handy tool. This is a wax tip on this pen, and you just reach down, touch to the top of a stone, and it picks the stone up on the top, and then you just put it to a hole and gently kind of rub it into the hole, and it comes off into that spot. All right, so that's how the pickup tool works. You also can get some little plastic tweezers off of Amazon or whatever, and you can use those as well. But for me, the pickup tool isn't as fast as my fingers. Sometimes the pickup tool is, you know, the better option, but it's up to you, whatever your comfort level is. Okay, so I see an extra stone up here. Brush that out of the way and put it in this spot. And then I go back and I look to see if there are any extra stones laying somewhere or empty spots, and I have some down here because when I cut this template, I cut it too short, so I gotta kind of make it work, unfortunately. But this was the only template that I had available that I felt like I wanted to wear, because I don't wear everything that I have. Most of what I have was requested by customers. All right, and so I have all of this filled in, and I'm going to move those extra stones for now out of the way. And I try to work with one color at a time. So now that I have this filled in, what I need to do is cut a piece of transfer tape that's big enough to fit this. All right. And I know this is like going kind of slow, but if you hang tight, I'll show you a really cool thing that Be Createful has come out with to help make it easier for us to line up our bling designs. All right. So here's a piece of transfer tape. I've used it already. You can use these more than one time. So as you see, I use it and save it, put it back on the plastic carrier, use it again, put it back. You know, you can use it about 3-4 times, so you get good usage out of your plastic. But this is the part that a lot of people have issues with, because if you're not smooth with this part, you can have stones, static electricity, Don't bump your table. Oh my God, if you bump the table, all these stones will come out and be all over the place and you'll have to do it again. You have to be careful with this part. Once you get all your stones in place, don't bump your table, number one. So tell everybody don't even breathe. That's one of the things I started saying. But you have to make sure to apply this. So what I generally do is I put my plastic in the shape of a U, just like this. And I go down with it. And as I go down and the pressure of this coming down on the surface of the stones, I just go ahead and lay it straight out. And that helps keep my stones from shifting, because static electricity is real. This is plastic. This is felt, or, you know, flock. So it can create static electricity, and these stones react to that. So you do have to be careful with that part. And if it does come crazy and the design comes off and it looks retarded, I take my little scoop, paint scraper scoop that I got from Lowe's, scrape all them stones off, and then I do this all over again because I don't waste stones. So let's go ahead and we'll drop this down. And as you see, it's in a U shape. So hopefully you'll be able to see me come down on this. And just that quick, I lay it out and lay it flat and then rub everything in place. Now for mine, because I was using a piece of tape that was already used, it's just a smidge too short, but I'm going to pick this up and show you. See how it's just a smidge too short right there, but as you see, the stones are still sticking to it. So sometimes you may have to, you know, you got to double check. But if I wanted to fix that, so say for instance, you cut yours too short and you have extra up here that isn't sticking, what I do is I take, let me get this back in place first of all. Okay, there we go. What I do is I'll get, you know, a pair of scissors or whatever and cut off any extra that isn't attached to stones, just like that strip right there, and I'll just come down and attach it at the top to make sure that whatever extra up there didn't get taped, it's taped now. All right, and now that our I did this wrong. This was supposed to be clear, y'all, but it's all right. So now, as you see, it picks it all up. It picks up the stones in the design. So when you cut out your bling design, you don't have to mirror it. You just leave it like it is, because you're going to pick it up anyway and apply it to the shirt. So I'm going to set this off to the side for a moment. And since that's the outside of the design, I'm going to show you applying the outside after we bling this. And I'm going to go ahead and do this in white, even though it was supposed to be in red. So meanwhile, I'm just using my scoop to scoop these up and put them back in the bag. Normally I have my stones in containers, but I had a travel kit where I was actually, my mom and her sisters were helping me bling, so I had a travel kit of stones for them so that I wouldn't have to carry those heavy glass containers. All right, and here's clear. Oh, sorry, I'm missing chat. Just the rhinestone templates themselves, cutting and creating wise. You can, let me go back. Silhouette easier. In a way, the silhouette is easier in a way. If you already know how to use the silhouette software, yes. I didn't know how to use the silhouette software, so I learned what I needed to do. Cricut, it just takes an extra step, unfortunately, if you don't have a designer that creates Cricut templates. It will take an extra step. So again, I'm rubbing this in. Lonnie says she uses the kids' white crayons to pick up the stones. Yes, any wax can be used to pick your stuff up, but be careful with the what I have found. I have wax pencils that are just like coloring pencils, right? And they pick up the stones too, but the problem that I came across was it leaves a waxy residue on the surface of the stone, so it makes it a little harder to pick up with this plastic tape. So the plastic tape ends up not picking up a stone. It'll miss a stone and not pick it up because that stone has wax on the surface. So just be aware of that. If you have issues picking up after using a wax pen, that would be why. Because I've been through that too, and it's a royal pain. So here we go. We're adding in stones already brushed across to make sure that there were no loose stones. All right. So I'm adding in the stones where there are blank spaces. And trying to do this rush type as well. And I got something on here. I don't know what that is. Lint or whatever. Okay. One more stone is missing. All right. So what I'm going to do is take a chance. And the only reason I'm taking this chance is because I've done this before. And I'm pretty good at being very careful. And I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay? I'll move this up here and try not to bump it too much so that my stones don't come out of place. All right, so I'm going to leave that right there, because what I'm going to do is, after using this tape, I'm going to use this same piece to pick that up once we put those stones in place. All right, so let's go ahead and get these stones put up. The clear that we didn't use on the shirt. Now, again, Be Createful has so many different tools that are beneficial and helpful to give you access to the resources you need to make your project a success. So here we have just a regular shirt. I'm going to actually make this for myself. So I have me an extra large t-shirt because I like a larger shirt. And ordinarily with embroidery, we measure 7 to 9 inches down for left chest logo. For a chest, we kind of want to go in the center, across the boob area, the center of your design across the boob area, and your underpit generally is the center. If you don't know those shortcuts, or you want to be a little more assured of where things go, Be Createful has a template that they sell now, and it's the Easy Shirt Alignment tool. So you just lay it on top of the shirt and get it centered, and this shows you where you can put your designs. You can come up here with it, or it has left pocket and right pocket if you need to use for pockets. I don't have pockets on this shirt, so I'm just going to use it with this particular shirt, but it helps you guide where the middle of your design is, and also where you can line up your design. So definitely check them out with their guide. I've been doing this for quite a while, so I'm kind of not one of the ones to really use a guide, but it does come in handy. So I'm going to line this up. I'm going to bring it down just a little bit because I like for my designs to be a little lower on my shirt. All right, and that helps me get the middle, because I know it's coming straight down the middle of that thing, and I'm going to move this. So check out their Easy Shirt Alignment tool. It's heavy duty, it's thick plastic. This isn't going to be easy to break, and they do have it for sale on their site. All right, so now I have my transfer tape with my stones glue side down on my shirt, right? So at this point, the only thing left to do is press it on the heat press. And everybody's seen the heat press. It ain't really nothing fancy. So I'm going to go take that to the heat press, and I'm going to move this over here so that as soon as this is done, we can get our shirt. So when you do rhinestones With more than one color, it's done in layers in most instances. Now, I could have, like, say for instance, if someone wanted this to be a two-color design, if they wanted the number to be a different color and the rest in another color, yes, you can take the time to fill in this, try and brush the stones in just this area in one color, and then do one and do both colors at one time. It's a little trickier than doing it separate, but it can be done. So don't think you have to do it separated. But this is, I prefer to do two colors separate. I had that on too long. So I was going to take the plastic off and not show you. All right, I'm going to be careful because it's hot and I don't want to lay it on my thing just yet, because as you see, this doesn't take the heat very well and it'll warp and do this number right here. It's not necessarily tearing it up, but I like for my surface to stay flat. But after it comes off, you just peel it off. It's still sticky, so we're going to use it for that one. And there we have the first color of our layer, our bling design on the shirt. So I'm going to set this off to the side so it can cool off. I'm going to bring this over and I'm going to pick up this second one. And as I remember, I put it U-shape and then drop it straight down, one fluid motion, and drop it. And sometimes stones will shift, but you look for that, smooth it out. Double check as you're smoothing it out and make sure none of the stones flipped, because again, static electricity will cause them to flip if you're not fast or fluid enough with laying that down. And then I just rub on it to make sure all of the stones touch the sticky, and then peel it off. All right, so there's our second layer. So we're done with that, and I'm going to move this out of the way. My shirt is still a little warm, but I'm going to go ahead and put this down. All right, and now our second layer. And you line it up with the spaces. Sometimes you gotta hold your mouth right to make sure everything lines up just so. All right. And there we have our two-layer design. So let's press this, and hopefully not for too long. Oh, I'm missing a stone. Let's see, a stone came off. I was wondering where that clear stone. I saw this stone. Look. I saw it when I went to set it over there, but then I was like, we'll figure out where it came from. But I see where it came from now, so I'm going to go ahead and put it on before I press this. And I will show you this part, but the heat press is hot. Here we go. All right, so that is how to apply hot fix stones to shirts or hats or toboggans or whatever you want to put hot fix stones on that you can lay flat on the heat press. All right, so here is our shirt. Trying to cool it off, even though this is better to peel hot. You see it comes right off, no issues whatsoever. And there's our shirt. Hopefully my kids agree that I can wear a super mom shirt. And if they don't agree, I know my doggies will. So I'm not worried about it. All right, so that's a hot fix. Again, we used heat to affix these stones to the shirt. You'll need a design. You'll need rhinestone flock to cut a template. You'll need, a brush and some pickup tools. And you'll need transfer tape. And of course, you'll need your rhinestones. And the stones come in so many different colors. It's absolutely beautiful. So before we run out of time, I want to take you over back to our not hot fix, but our flat back stones. and show you the flat back process and show you the stones that I got, because those stones are so pretty. Oh my God, they're so beautiful. All right. And now I can get back to the chat too a little bit better. Even though I left my phone over there, but I don't think I need it right now. All right. Sorry for all of the motion in the ocean. Boom. All right. So what do you think? How did you like the hot fix on the shirt? For those who have never, Marianne said, stop, my card is full. I can't. I have to show y'all these stones. They are so pretty. Thank you. She said, I was thinking sublimation. Now it's a toss up with bling. I do both. I do both. I do both. Can you do it with an iron if you don't have the press? If so, how long do you keep the iron onto the shirt to set the stones? I always suggest no. I always suggest get a heat press, because you really need to make sure that you have the right heat temperature in order to make sure that your stones, don't come off in the wash. You really don't want that. That's annoying, to find stones missing off of your shirts. So I would suggest, if you can't afford a full-blown heat press, the Cricut Easy Press works. The Cricut Easy Press does get to 350 degrees. And worst case scenario, even the little mini press, you'll just have to press it in sections, but at least you know what the temperature is with those. Whereas with an iron, it's a toss-up. You can try it. You can try it, and I've heard of people successfully doing that, but it's a toss-up. So I generally don't suggest a iron. Magma King, I am heating on top of the bling. So I lay the shirt down, and once I pick up the stones on the transfer paper, on the transfer tape, the stones are on the underside of that transfer tape, glue side down. And I put the glue side down on the shirt, stone side up, and then bring that press down on top for 12 seconds roughly. And then peel, once it comes off, peel that plastic off, and my stones are left glued to the shirt. All right, so sorry, Marianne. My bad. Don't forget, if you haven't ordered before, use that code so that you can get the 10% off. We couldn't tell you had the wrong color because I was in the zone. My bad. Yeah. And Heather, yes, excellent point as well. Some people, like, there's oh gosh, what is it? Crystal by Design. I cannot think of the name of her website, but there's a lady in my rhinestone group, and she sells the actual template with the stones already on the sticky plastic, and when you get it home, you just peel it, put it on the shirt, and press it and go. You don't have to go through the whole bling and buy flock and templates and stuff. That works really good if there's a design she has or whatever, and one customer wants it. You don't have to invest in flock and put flock together, and then you don't have a need to use it anymore. But that can kind of be pricey as well if you're not careful, but you can definitely do that too. Let's say I sent SS10s for the class. Yes, I sent SS10s. Texas Rhinestone will sell templates already with the rhinestones on it, just need to be heat pressed. So that's another one, Texas Rhinestones. And we'll see about putting some of these suggestions in the hoop group for future reference if you want to. All right, so let me go down to, for the code. There's no code, it's the link, is in the description. It's the very first thing under the title of this video. Do you still get a discount if you are a member? No. That's for first time purchases only. So, do you put a Teflon sheet on top of the plastic when you heat press? I don't. I do not. You can, but I do not. I get the flop comes from Be Createful as well. She used to have that orange. She doesn't have that orange anymore. Now it's pink. So yes. So now let's get to what I'm super excited about, and that's the flatback stones, because I have seen so many people. As a matter of fact, let me grab my phone. I think I have the picture saved on my phone. And if so, well, crap, what did I do with my phone? Well, I don't know what I've done with my phone, y'all. That's crazy. I set my phone somewhere, but I went. Oh, it was right here. I just looked at it before I went over there. Ain't that crazy, y'all? I'm getting old. Let's see. For instance, let's close that. I don't need that anymore. Boom. Did I take a picture of it? I probably did. Well, I know how to get to it because I absolutely love these. Oh no, we're running out of time. I got 15 minutes, y'all. Let's see. Photos. Like, for instance, here is a rhinestone tumbler that somebody just did in the group. I know that's kind of blurry. Check this out. Rhinestone tumbler, skinny tumbler that she did. I think she used the strips. I could be wrong, but that's awfully straight. Because honeycomb shape is difficult to do without strips. See, and here we have another tumbler, Starbucks. Magma, the Sew What Pro 1 class is, we've already done those classes. I'm going to have to record it again, and then we'll have those up. But they won't be live anymore unless there's something special going on. Here's a one where she did her name. So she probably did the name in vinyl and then put bling on the name and the cup itself. So there's a ton of, I mean, these folks are so creative. It's crazy how creative they are. Somebody made a Coca-Cola tumbler. Yes, you can cut your own tumbler templates. Yes, very much so. Here's a pair of Uggs I was saying where you would use hot fix, and she glued each one on. You would, I'm not hot fix, I apologize, flatback stones. She would have to glue those on. Hers were actually Uggs, mine were Wugs, which is fine. But yes, this is see, somebody did a what do you call that, flask, and the little cups to go with it. So yes, you can, flatback stones are bee's knees. And all it takes is some pre-planning and knowing what you want to do. Before showing you, I probably won't get to show y'all blinging on that cup, and that makes me a little bit sad, but I'll try and keep y'all updated with the process, the progress of it in the group, so that you can see, because I am going bling this cup. But here is a this is chameleon. You know what? I know what I'm gonna do to show y'all these stones. Make it easier so that I don't have to worry about them falling. So that you can see them. So that you can see them better. All right, so I'm gonna start with these because I already opened them. So these are the stones that I just purchased for the Black Friday deal, and I bought the colors that I wanted to do on a cup. So these are flat back. This is aquamarine AB. So this is aquamarine, but it's AB. So it gives an extra shimmer, an extra, the glass is coated with a color that allows it to be iridescent, for lack of better words. So this is AB aquamarine, and I mean, gorgeous colors, y'all. Now, I don't know why my thought process went to blue this time, because normally, well, I kind of really didn't know what color I wanted to do. And this one is cobalt, which is one of my favorite shades of blue in rhinestones. This is cobalt blue. So cobalt is kind of like cowboys blue or Duke blue, so to speak. Come on, bro. There we go. So this is cobalt. All right. It's so much prettier outside of the package, so that's why I had to take it out so that y'all can see it. And it's crazy because when you get these packets in the mail, let me show y'all actually that part too. So that's another SS10, and here are the ones that I actually ordered that came. And like when you open the packet and you see all these stones, and you just, it kind of, I hate to compare it to that, but it put me in the mind of, y'all remember, I think, DuckTales, where the Scrooge duck would swim in his money? Man, I get these stones and I be like a diamond dealer, and I'm sitting there just drooling over my stones and like counting them and looking at them, and it's great. It's sad, actually. It really is, but it's an addiction if you're not careful. These are called chameleon. These are called chameleon. Oh gosh, I'm spilling them. So it reflects blue and purple. Actually, this is a cobalt chameleon. Yeah, cobalt chameleon. So it reflects blue and brown, and you know, when you flex it different ways, the colors are just insane, the way they pop. So my goal is to, for my cup, is to mix several shades of the blues that I have. This is regular aquamarine. I'm just gonna show them to you in the pack because it's gonna take me forever to dump all these stones out. So this is regular aquamarine. Remember, this was aquamarine AB. This one was, let me see if I can't fix this so it won't fall out. This was AB, and this is just regular aquamarine. See, there's a lighter thing to this one because it also reflects green and whatnot on this stone, whereas this is just straight aquamarine blue. Then I have, for you are, I showed you cobalt. I also bought, this is magic gold. So this is a gold rhinestone. This one is not so much, I mean, it is kind of glass, but it looks more like a rhinestud in a way when you look at it a certain way. And then we have, I'm gonna save these for last because those are cool. Yep, save that for last. I have Purple Majesty because at some point in time I do intend to do me a Prince tumbler. You're not really gonna be able to see that too good, but this purple is absolutely beautiful. I hate you can't see that better because it's like more of the silver is showing than the purple. But that's Purple Majesty. Then I have, well, here's a bigger Purple Majesty. Maybe you'll be able to see it. Can you see it any better? The purple in there. Or is it still reflecting more black? Beautiful, beautiful shade of purple. And then I have Capri color, which is more like a Panther's color blue. This is Capri. I love that Capri color. It's just like amazing. here's the chameleon, cobalt blue chameleon again, where it's showing this is like multicolors in one stone. I'm super excited to use that one. And then I purchased neon purple. So these don't have like the silver on the back, but it's a lighter back so that it can, you know, kind of like have a little bit of a neon look to it. And these are neon purple. Think about mixing the purples. And then here is neon, sorry, luminous blue. This is luminous blue. Now, whether it glows or not, I don't know, but it kind of does have like a little glow look to it. These are luminous blue is what they're called. All of these bags are SS10. So all of the, I'm sorry, all these bags are 10 gross. All of these are 10 gross. So sorry, Avery's. Every last one of these bags are 10 gross. So again, my goal is to like take the capri blue and the aquamarine and, you know, dump them in the cobalt, put it in a container, shake it up, and mix up the colors. Not all of them, but some of them. And put random colors on the cup. So it's like a random blue effect. That's the goal. We'll see how that works. It may not turn out as pretty as I want it to, but that's the plan. But those are my stones that I got. And since we have just a little bit of time left, when you go to do a tumbler, the best way to prep your tumbler is to take sandpaper, fine grit. This that I have is not the finest of grit that I should have, but you take a fine grit sandpaper and you want to scuff and sand the surface. You don't want to do it over the top of your workstation, but you definitely want to. Oh, that sounds horrible. I need a finer grit of sandpaper. But anyway, you want to scuff it up to the point where it's actually white looking. And what that does is give the glue a better surface to adhere to. All right, so you want to scuff it all the way around. Then after you scuff it, get alcohol wipes or something that'll take your fingerprints off of the oil from your fingers off of the surface. And then you can start gluing and applying your glue. And the way I intend to apply my glue, they have applicator bottles that you can use. She sells those as well. I plan to use not so quite a long of a tip, but I plan to use a syringe and put the glue in the syringe and apply it a little drop, because it does not take a large drop of this at all. Matter of fact, the tip on this will put out too much glue technically for putting glue on the surface. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. I am so excited to do this tumbler, y'all. This is crazy how excited I am. See, this has a bit of an odor to it too, but it's nothing like that E6000. All right. So we'll actually, let me make sure this is ready to go. All I'm doing is giving it a squish a little bit, make sure the glue is worked pretty good. And then we're going to add just a itty bitty 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 itty bitty bit to the tube. All right. You really don't need too much more than that, because this glue goes a long way. And then we put our stopper in. All right. And then we get our glue all the way to the tippity tip with no air. And once we get our glue to the tippity tip, then I add my syringe. And the glue that we're going to be adding to our surfaces in order to put a stone, I'll show you on this because it's dark. So the amount of glue that we're talking about doing for a stone, this is an SS10 stone that I've picked up. For right now, I'm going to set it right there. Where's my pickup tool? What did I do? Oh, here it is. All right, so I got my pickup tool, and I have my stone on the pickup tool. As you can see up against my face. I'll set that down for the time being. If it can't stop rolling away. All right, and then we're going to do just the microscopicest level of drops. So it takes some practice. Like that drop is entirely too big right there. You see the drop that's coming off is too big too, so we're gonna wipe that off. And we're talking about a drop about like that. I mean, it really doesn't, this little teeny speck of a dot is what you're talking about, because once you add that stone, see that's, okay, just tapping it on. And as I mentioned, this glue sets really, really, really quickly once you put that stone on there. And of course I would drop a stone off of the thing. Put the glue on that little dot and then set it in place. Because the glue is so strong, you don't have to have a lot of this glue. A lot of the glue will actually make a mess. And see, look, you can't even move that stone now. It's set that quick. Can't even move it. If I wanted to move it, I can't. So you don't have to have a big glob of glue. So the glue will last you a long, long time. But that's how you prep your cup, get it started. McDuffie Mom, I am using the super tight glue. And as I mentioned, the super tight glue, the applicator bottle, your pickup pin, your stones, your flock, your hot fix stones, your flat back stones, your transfer tape to make your shirts. She even has tumblers that you can bling already there. You can buy tumblers. All of that stuff is in the link in the description below for becreateful.com. She has awesome customer service. You get the nicest stuff. I mean, she sends cards with her stuff, you know, to tell you thank you for ordering, and she gets it out for the most part same day. I don't think I've ever seen her get something out next day unless it's after the cutoff time, which is I think 3 p.m. or something like that. She does have a cutoff, but definitely hit up Be Createful and get your bling supplies from there. I absolutely love them. I've been using them for years. Keep in mind they also have the shirt alignment tool now, so you can use that as well, and you even can actually use it with embroidery as well. So definitely check them out. They're awesome sauce. You just bought 50 masks for $11.39. That is an awesome deal. One of my customers blings all her masks I make. I hate doing the flat back because it's messy. Using a syringe looks messy. Less messy and faster. It is less messy. You have more control. Ordinary methylated spirits. What would that be for? I missed that part. So thank y'all for joining us this evening. That was, oh, do not put a sealer over the stones, Avery. Do not. So that was a good question too. Don't put a sealer over the top, because anything you put over the top of those stones will take away from the luster. The whole point is for it to be able to access the light unhindered, with nothing blocking it. And it's been shown that when you put a coating over it, it like cuts the bling down tremendously. And you can wash it. You can, once you bling a tumbler, you can wash it, but it's best to hand wash it and just use a light little scrubby brush if need be to clean around it or whatever. Just really light, not anything heavy duty. And you don't soak it in the water. You just, dip it, wash it, and then set it out to dry. It is not dishwasher safe, that I know of. She says, can you bling the tumbler next Sunday? I don't know that I can wait that long. Lori, I'm not going to lie. What I'll probably do is bling along and show the bling process on Facebook. And as I get to certain points, I could go live and show that too on Facebook. Sonia, the pressing time and temperature was 350 degrees. And I did that at 12 seconds. Is the way I've always done my shirts, is 12 seconds, 350 degrees. And Magma King, what I'll do by next week, I'll have an announcement as to when the level 1 and level 2 Sew It Pro class is going to be available for purchase. The Sew It Pro Masters level, the final level, is already up. It will be available. It's available now. So this link right here is where you can purchase tickets to the Sew It Pro Masters class. You don't have to have 1 and 2 in order to do the Masters class. You don't have to do them in order, actually, either. But the classes are very helpful. They're very informative. Folks so far have enjoyed the classes, and I appreciate it. But after the 2 live classes that are coming up, then the classes will be pre-recorded from that point forward. Thank you, Marianne, about the flower. I was trying to be super cute with the hubby today. Alrighty, y'all. I appreciate y'all hanging with me. Blinging was fun, right? I love to bling. So next week, I don't think we'll be doing bling. Next week, we'll have, it's a toss-up between sublimation and embroidery, because we want to keep our stuff in a decent routine and covering some of all of the favorite stuff that we like to do. But I definitely wanted to show you guys the differences between the flat back and the hot fix, the application differences, the luster differences, the size differences. I wanted you guys to see all of that so that when you go to start bling, you can make a good decision, because you may just want to do hot fix. You may only want to do t-shirts and hats and socks and stuff. You may not want to do tumblers and place stones 1 by 1. But when you do place those stones 1 by 1 with the flat back, man, I tell you, you can jump your price up. You can make more money. There are more custom things you can do, like tumblers are hot right now. Bling tumblers, y'all know I tell y'all when stuff is hot so that you can make money. I do it all the time, and I call it because I see it. Tumblers are hot. They are the hot ticket item going right now. They are. I mean, it kicked off with J-Lo. Jennifer Lopez got a bling cup, and it's been blowing up ever since. Everybody and their grandma trying to get into the game, but not everybody can do it and have them look good. So the tumblers are very hot right now. Wedding shoes are hot. The Converse, doing bling on those. Baby shoes, bling on the baby shoes is super hot too. But those tumblers are really on the market right now. So if you're thinking about it, you can. And there's less investment for doing the hot fix on tumblers than it is doing the shirts, because you don't have to buy the flock, you don't have to buy the transfer tape, you don't have to buy the brush, you don't have to do templates, okay? But your time investment is much higher in doing flat back stones, because you're placing 1 stone at a time, unless you do the rhinestone strips. But the rhinestone strips, the sticky ones that I did on my shoes on a cup, they probably won't last quite as long. But you can give it a shot. And what software am I using to create rhinestone templates? I don't actually do custom create templates. I purchase templates that are already created, and I'm gonna put as a matter of fact, I'm gonna put it in the chat right now. My File Addiction is one of my favorites. .com. She is excellent. I'll put a link in the description too for after the show. And I buy her templates and cut them out. I use Make the Cut and I use Cricut to cut out my templates. And I have to use Make the Cut because I need to make it easier for my Cricut machine. Now, myfileaddiction.com, if I'm remembering correctly, she does Cricut files. So you technically don't have to have Make the Cut to do your bridge over to the Cricut, but I tend to do it just to be 100% sure that I'm getting the results that I want. All right. You cannot use the glue on the rhinestone sheets. You cannot use the glue on the rhinestone sheets. The rhinestone sheets are already pre-glued. The hot fix ones are already pre-glued, and the self-adhesive sticker kind are already pre-glued. And the glue on that self-adhesive sticker kind is crazy strong. It is very strong. So you don't have to worry about, you know, having too many. Rocking out Crocs is trendy. I don't care for that, me personally. I got Crocs, and I'm like, oh gosh, I don't know. But if done properly, yeah, rocking out Crocs is trendy too. Yep. So thank y'all. I enjoyed it. I'm going to go bling on my tumbler because I've been waiting on this moment for a long time. I've been planning this. And I appreciate y'all joining me this evening. Thank you for taking the time out of your schedule. Again, I want to let you know we do have thebabiesbooty.com. You can join up, and we do crazy stuff like this all the time and show off our projects. Also on Facebook, thebabiesbooty.com. And here on YouTube, you can join up and get a membership here to help the channel so that we can bring more really cool projects and show y'all all the hot stuff that's out there so you can make some monies, right? You're investing in me, which in turn I'm investing back in you so that you can make money, right? That's how this game works. So thank you again for taking the time out of your busy evening to have some fun and blinging with me. So y'all have a good night, and until the next time I see you all, I'm going to say this time, happy blinging, right? Have a good night. Bye. That was fun. I really enjoyed the night show. That was cool.